And on Blitz, and thanks for sticking with us. Joining us on the phone right now is head baseball coach at Banks County, Scott Frederick. Coach, thanks for your time.
Oh, glad you had me.
Coach, this will be your first year at the helm, taking over a team that went 12-12 a year ago and 80 wins in the last 6 seasons. What are your feelings on taking over a stable program like this?
Well, no doubt it's stable. I was an assistant coach last year, so the kids know me and I know them, so that's a lot easier. But as far as being stable is going to be a big factor because we lost a lot last year to graduations and transfers. So I hope we had a great feeder program coming up. I think we do, and they'll certainly be put to the test this year.
Now, the Leopards posted 2 straight trips to the state playoffs in 2008 and again in 2009, advancing to the Sweet 16 that second year. Do you feel this team you have now could be capable of competing at that same level? I know that's a little difficult with what you just said about not knowing, what kind of players you had this year.
Yeah, I mean, we really only have 3 full-time starters returning at positions, and that's 3 seniors. We've got basically a very young team that at this point I have to say is very questionable.
Now, you have about 3 weeks of non-region play, before March 11th kicks in, and that's the all-new Region 7 AAA. Talk about the tough slate that you have, and the way the schedule is wired is pretty interesting with playing every team in the region 3 times with back-to-back home and away, and then you play them again at the end of the season.
Well, as far as the 3-game set, in Region 8 AA last year, we played a 3-game set against everyone. The only difference being is we played them on 3 consecutive dates. We play a team like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, with the first 2 at one place and the third one to be at the other place. So this one's the only unique part about it from us is standpoint. We play the third one later on in the year, which I prefer because at least now you get to set your pitching up where you can have your number 1 or number 2 against the tougher teams. And tough, it basically describes Region 7 AAA. I was an assistant coach at White County back 06, 07, 08, 09, and I'm very familiar with the North Halls, the West Halls, all those schools that have traditionally been in 7 AAA, and it's going to be a challenge without that's definitely going to be a challenge.
And that could be an advantage with you having coached at White County before, because I've heard some of the coaches this year voice a little bit of concern over the nervousness of the teams not knowing each other within the region. So do you feel like your time spent at White County, and being familiar with some of those teams can help out this year?
Well, I'm familiar from the standpoint of the coaches. I know Trent Mangiero at North Hall. I know his style of play. Of course, John, I learned a lot from John when I was working with him, and so I feel comfortable. I know where put it this way, I know where the stadiums are. I know where the baseball fields are. But as far as players, no.
Yeah.
I have no clue of what the players are coming back for each team.
Well, before we let you go, let's focus on your guys for a moment. Talking about the players, you mentioned you had about 3 full-time starters, those 3 seniors. Who are those guys on the diamond this year that we can look out for that are going to lead the charge for Banks County this season?
Well, one of our better players is definitely going to be Billy Hudgens. He played basically every game last year at second base, and we've moved him to shortstop. Whereas last year he was a leadoff batter, this year we're going to move him down a little bit deeper in the order, take advantage of his power, left-handed hitter, as said, and he really does a great job with his leadership and really takes charge of the infield. Also, Tanner Thompson's returns at third base. He's an outstanding defensive third baseman. And we're putting him in the cleanup spot this year. He's got some power in his bat. He's football players, and he really works hard in the weight room. And his bench press max and things such as that is basically why I put him at the leadoff, at the cleanup spot. And of course, the third one would be center fielder Tyler Hellmeister. He's definitely got the most speed. He's going to be our leadoff hitter this year. He hit the number 2 spot last year, and he's outstanding leader as well. Another senior we have, he started a lot last year, but not every game like the other 3, and that would be first baseman Austin Smith, 6'1" right-handed hitter that we right now got him hitting around the number 5 spot. That is a great defensive first baseman.
Well, Scott, thanks again for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on Blitz, and the best of luck to you throughout the 2013 season.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Coach. When we come back, some state playoff basketball highlights for you and our player of the week.